need money to move with it. You follow your passions, you work towards success, you find new experiences, you make it all work. Life is unscripted. So while you're keeping up, or when you settle down. At Vision's Federal Credit Union, it's not just the money that's there when you need it. We find life is unscripted. Trust Visions at every stage.
Wait, let's ask you a little about the NBA. Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City for Golden State in July after signing a 2-year deal and signed a 2-year deal with the Warriors. A lot of people had a problem with this decision. Do you have a problem with Durant's decision to leave for the Warriors?
It's a grown man. A grown man making music. Won't have no problem with nothing another man does. Now, what my opinion is on it is, it's new. I just put it in. You see, I got a category where that's that new world. That's what I put in. I put in that new world category where it's new to want to join someone of that's amazing and join someone that's great and help that team, and then that's how you want to get to your ring or whatever. I'm from that era where, you are the best. You are who they saying the best. Okay. I don't want nobody else. I want all nobodies around me. So when we do it, it's about me.
That's you.
Yeah.
Like you said, no features,
no,
right?
Yeah,
right.
I'm from that era, and that's totally not what that is. We're not joining teams and joining forces and all that. You're going to see me at the top like I see you right now. So.
You saw what the Cavs did.
Yeah.
Down 3-1. How impressed were you by what they did?
Impressed isn't the word. I almost kind of expected it.
Down 3-1.
Yeah. I thought they was playing the whole time. I kind of figured that they were playing the whole time. I felt like, now it's time to get real.
Right.
I thought that's what happened once they got down to 3-1. Yeah, okay, now let's play for real. And once they play for real, look what happened. That's what
they got to play for real against no Draymond Green, who got suspended for that 5th game back at Golden State. That was a big loss for the home
team. You see what he does? You see what he does? He tried to minimize LeBron.
Facts is what I did.
You see how he tried to minimize LeBron?
I'm not sure if Draymond Green would have changed anything.
Really?
If he was that.
Wow. I don't know. He's the guts and the glue of that team.
What? Oh, yeah.
Draymond? No?
What about Steph?
I was trying to figure out that.
Okay.
The Splash Brothers. He's not one of those brothers, is it?
He's not.
So let me ask you a question. Steph won the MVP the past 2 years. LeBron did what he did. If you were starting a basketball team tomorrow, one player, who you taking?
Really? At his advanced age and his knees starting to fail him a little bit. I'm just
LeBron had no knee trouble in his 13 years. He's
having a little knee trouble. He's losing a little lift here late in his career, right?
LeBron, he's like one of them, he's like Antonio, bro. You could put him in a backfield, you could do slide flanker, you could do everything, you know what Steph gonna do.
Okay? Yeah. You're still living in Miami, obviously. Yes. And now Dwayne Wade is no longer a member of the Miami Heat, which is still, as the words come out of my mouth, that's a little shocking for me to say.
It is still weird.
Right? It's pretty weird. Yeah. He did go home. Yeah. He did go back to Chicago.
Yes.
How do you feel about it? What lingers with you now about Dwayne and all that you watched him accomplish in your city?
I just thought that, I don't get into nobody's business, and I know it was a business thing.
Right.
And you, again, as a man, make the best decision for yourself and your family. And that's what he said that decision was.
Yes.
And with that said, I had nothing but respect for the move. And as far as how I feel about it in sports, but I think it was at the right time. That move, I think that move was actually at the right time because D is a pretty involved person in the community, in the city, things like that. And that place right there needs a person like him right now.
Did you blame the Heat management or Pat Riley for letting him go?
I blame him totally. Only the Heat. Yeah, you're supposed to make sure a person like that stays.
I mean, that's what you prefer to see, right?
That's your main focus.
That is correct.
You get that taken care of first. Now let's deal with whatever else matters.
So will it be harder for you to attend those games next year?
I usually only attend if it's a real good game anyway. So if it's like a good game, I'm there. Yeah.
be out there after all these years.
Oh my God! We found it!
I don't know what happened to your sister James and there can't be home.
Starts tomorrow.
What's your reaction to Kaepernick's protests?
Yeah, going right back again to this man. That's the man and his decisions, man. Respect the man and his decision. That's all I can do. I have no opinion on it because the things I'm not into it enough to even give an opinion. So when he did it, I really didn't even know what. Somebody had to tell me why he was doing it. That's how much I didn't know what was going on, and I kind of still don't. So somebody had to explain to me, like, are you kneeling because of the Black Lives Matter thing and because of all that wave or whatever. That whole wave just went by me too fast for me even try to even give an opinion. So I just was like, oh, okay, that's what's happening.
So you're a deep thinker in these issues. So step back from all of it. I know this is a very broad question, but where are we in the United States of America in race relations and what you see from day to day in your life?
Skip, they wouldn't want to ask me that. They wouldn't want my answer to represent it because God knows I have been nothing but blessed. My whole path, these 33 years have been nothing but a blessing. I have never, never is a strong word, never dealt with racism, and I'm glad I didn't have to. And I don't know if it's because of my blessings. I don't know if it's, but it is my reality. So I would have to say, not only did I thought it was over, I still believe it's over, but obviously it is.
So you've never experienced any offensive behavior from any other color or?
No, sir.
Wow. But you are blessed.
But you see what's going on, even in your city, New Orleans, with Alton Sterling.
Yeah.
During Katrina,
yeah.
officers that killed those and ended up in jail. So I know you say you're not paying attention to it, but you see some of the things that's what's
going on.
Right.
As far as an opinion on what's going on, I mean, of course, we all want somebody to figure out what's going on first and then put a stop to it, or try to put a stop to it. Everybody come together and figure something out, and maybe just coming together is the solution. But we have to do that first. And obviously we have a bunch of differences. People feeling this way, people feeling that way. When you come to a person like me, my answer is always the same, man. My politics, my flag, my country, my nation, my world, all that is Regine, Cameron, Neil, and his brother, Tony. That's it. That's my nation. That's my flag. That's my world. That's my protest. That's my don't protest. That's my everything. That's all that matters. Those 4 kids to me.
So, go one level deeper with me. I remember one time I saw you after you had done a concert. I think it was in Westchester, different kind of neighborhood. But I asked you what the racial breakdown was of your audience. Do you remember this? You told me the only black face you could see in the whole audience was your makeup artist. I believe that's what you said. She was in the front row, right? A lot of white kids love rap.
Yes.
Explain that. What does that say to you? What's the message of it? What's the bigger picture of it?
I don't want to be bashed because I don't want to sound like I'm on the wrong if there is a side, but I thought that was clearly a message that there was no such thing as racism. That's what I thought that was.
Okay.
That was a perfect example. When I look out and I come up off the stage, when I'm coming out the bottom of the stage of my show, when I'm on tour, and I'm in my stance or whatever, and I open my eyes and I see everybody. I don't have this type of crowd or that type of. My crowd has always been everybody. Thank God, and that's all I can answer for. So.
Do you think the younger generation, the millennials, do you think they're moving a little further away from the racism as opposed to where it used to be?
It's not cool to them.
Right.
It's not cool to them. It don't matter to them. And when it's so not cool that it doesn't even matter to them. They're like, what? What? He's what? They're like, what happened? And that's their response. That's the millennials' response.
But could it be that you're a musician, and obviously as an ex-professional athlete or as an entertainer, do you think they treat you differently? Although you are black, you are a prominent figure in the black community. Could that be?
That's why I said I'm sure it may be because of my blessing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why my path has been different.
Right.
But I'm the first one to say I'm sure that it has a lot to do with it, but it also is the person that I am. I believe strongly that it's the person that I am.
You treat people a certain way.
Exactly.
Shannon, how do you feel about what Wayne is saying?
Well, a man can really only speak to his experience. And as I've alluded to, I come from rural South Georgia. I've experienced things. I've been called things. And sometimes you can only see things through the eyes of the man that's cried. So if this man hasn't experienced racism, haven't been called out of his name, he's doing right by not saying and trying to make up a story. So did you hear what Lil Wayne said? He experienced the same thing. I commend him, although he's from New Orleans. The ward, what ward are you from? 17th Ward. We know what it's like in New Orleans. Although he has never experienced that, he's not going to sit up here on national television and try to embellish in order to further advance the conversation. Because then people are going to say, see, there's Lil Wayne. Not only is an athlete, we have an entertainer, a musician, a very prominent figure who's also experienced. So I commend him. If he's never, kudos to you, bro, in 33 years. I'm 48 years old from rural South Georgia, and if you don't think it's alive and well, Wayne, check my timeline. Check my timeline when Skip and I had this discussion last year. They still will use the N-word. They will still call you the animal with the ring around his tail. Hey, do you? That makes you feel better. I think it says a lot more about you than me, but I'm cool with it. It's not going to stop me from doing what I do.
Shannon, does it give you even a glimmer of hope, what he's saying about his more generation, the millennial generation?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that racism, bigotry is a learned, taught emotion. So if you do not teach someone to do that, they won't extend that. So it's got to stop somewhere. But you have to understand it's been going on for such a long, long period of time. We have 400 plus years of this in the U.S. People have been fighting back in biblical times. It was divided up. And so, like I said, Wayne, I commend you. I'm glad you're speaking. You're not embellishing a story. Being from New Orleans, experiencing what you've been able to experience. I remember reading where you say you accidentally shot yourself. But racism is real. He knows it's real, although he hasn't experienced it.
With that said, that night, that day,
yeah,
that I shot myself, the police, I was the only person in the house.
Right.
Police came through there. They knocked the doors down. I was on the floor.
Right.
They jumped over. They all hopped over, looking for the drugs and looking for this and that. There was a white police that came, ran up there and stopped and said, "What are y'all doing? Do y'all not see this baby on the floor?" And they said, "We called the ambulance. The ambulance." Say, "Ambulance, he has a hole in his chest." He picked me up. He brought me to the hospital itself. He was white.
Andrew, family camping trip. Crank the radio. Strange smell. Smoke. Heat. Welcome to Nowhereville. Population you. Meet Earl. Hot bad gasket.
Okay, so give me the bad news. What time on that casket?
8 a.m.
8 a.m.?
8 a.m.
Done. New gasket. Crank. Crank the radio. UPS delivers to more zip codes by 8 a.m. How we're helping businesses solve for the needs of customers like Andrew.
So now you got to pick up another team. You know, Cleveland. We we need some support up in Cleveland. LeBron would love to have you.
We
Cleveland? we love to have you courtside. You sitting next to Usher. I might be able to come out there and swing a couple of tickets and courtside watching Bron win another title.
Eastern Conference that they're going to cakewalk through again. Is that what you're talking about?
The Wonder Twins. That's what I call Kyrie and LeBron. I believe they're going to take down the Fantastic Four up in Golden State.
You buying?
I believe they can, but I can't I can't make an opinion on that because I haven't seen that Fantastic Four play yet.
Yeah, if that old slow team in San Antonio manages to make it back to the finals, LeBron's got no shot.
They still in the NBA.
They're still in the NBA, and the last time, wait a second, the last time they were seen in the NBA Finals, they were blowing LeBron's Heat team off the floor by a record finals margin.
Yeah.
That's how old and slow they were that time.
Yeah.
Which wasn't that long ago, by the way. No Tim Duncan.
You're talking about the LeBron that's the champion right now.
He backed into a championship.
That's the LeBron you're talking about. Oh.
He backed in with no Draymond.
Did you hear what he said? He backed.
Yes.
I said it.
He beat a 73-9 team.
Wait, and its rim protector, Bogut, could not play in games 6 or 7. So who knew? I mean, it was just a super highway to the basket for LeBron, so I'm good with that.
It's always a super highway to the basket for LeBron. That's why I would pick him first.
This man on national TV said Kyrie should have been the finals MVP over LeBron.
Wait, who hit the shot that closed the deal in the game?
See?
Who hit that shot?
Kyrie hit that shot.
He hit that shot.
Tell him about the block.
The block. Oh,
tell him about the block.
Cares
Wait,
about the block.
tell him about the block.
Yeah. This is like Aaron Rodgers. This is like, he made that play. Did that play win the game?
I don't know, bro. That Kyrie really balled.
There we go.
Can I interest you in 29, 11, and 9?
Yeah.
For the final?
Hey, he can stuff that stat sheet like nobody ever stuffed it.
He's stuffing the stat sheet shooting 55% on the floor.
Shannon, who made the shot of the finals? Who made it? You know who made it. Kyrie made it.
You gotta get that. He did make the shot.
He finally said, enough of this stuff.
But you get that award.
Yeah.
You get the shot of the finals award.
This Splash brother couldn't make it, and that Splash brother couldn't make it. But Kyrie, one of the, what do you call them, the Wonder Twins?
Yeah.
That's pretty lame. But it's okay. I'll go with it for now. He made the shot. Kyrie beats LeBron. Who do you want to see? Who should have the ball in his hands down the stretch of any Cavaliers game? I want Kai.
What was a more impressive shot? 3-point shot. Kyrie's or Ray Allen's game?
Now you're shooting me right in the heart.
Which one was more?
Okay, well, I'll give you Ray Allen because that's the greatest clutch shot I've ever seen. It's over, and my Spurs have won another championship over LeBron James, who, by the way, thank you for bringing that game up. Down the stretch of that Game 6 in Miami, LeBron James committed not 1 or 2, he committed 3 turnovers, and then he missed the shot, the 3-point shot, to send it to overtime. Long rebound, out to Bosch, kicks it into the corner, and what happened? Ray clutched up.
What about the 2 threes that he hit no way? He turned it over 3 times, but he hit 2 clutch threes.
He didn't make 2 clutch threes. He did make 1 down the stretch. There were no 2. There was no 2. And you know what? Once they got to Game 7, my Spurs were cooked mentally. LeBron was great in Game 7.
For a guy that didn't have no clutch gene, why would LeBron close out Game 7?
I like that you say pardon my phrase. No clutch gene. That's the first time that's been said on.
Tell Wayne what you say about LeBron. He got no what?
Clutch gene. But I've been saying that for 10 years. Oh, come on. How many walk-off shots has he missed? He's made 3 in his whole life, and he's played, what are we up to, 13 years now? That's not what he does. He misses way too many late free throws. But he is a great player. I take nothing away except that's the one thing missing is the clutch shot. Don't bring me Michael Jordan to LeBron. You putting him in the same sentence?
No.
Thank you. Okay. Don't bring it, because one's the greatest clutch shooter ever.
But if you're going to talk about where there's competitiveness in the league right now, and you want to talk about he's cut from that Michael Jordan competitive club. He's cut from that.
Yeah, from
and we don't have
possession to possession.
I
buy that.
We don't have that.
Hey, LeBron James comes to play every night, every possession, and there's no better passer in basketball than LeBron James.
He don't get enough credit for that.
He's still the best point, whatever you want to call him, in basketball. It's not even close. And he fuels that fire because he keeps it all flaming with his passing. He is the quarterback of that team. I give you that.
If you think about it, Skip,
if he's the quarterback of the team, you just ask who we want with the ball and the clutch. I would want the quarterback of the team with the ball.
That's not what he wasn't born with that gift. Michael Jordan was. Ray Allen was. Not LeBron James. He never was.
He got 4 MVPs, 3 final MVPs.
You know what gets me about this? This guy defends him, and this guy was a clutch player. You would think you would want a mentally tough...
And clutch, no clutch.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody comes to you and you never heard this guy rap before, and they say, Wayne, I got this rap I want you to listen to. They plug him in. You gonna know if he's good or not, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just
Being clutch, I know clutch when I see it.
You do not know clutch. If you think LeBron James is clutch, do you know how many free throws he's missed? Do you know how many times he's pulled up from three because he was afraid to go to that free throw line to shoot those 2 free throws with no time on the clock?
Yes. You just told him that he was one of the most clutch people, you know, and then 5 seconds after you said you do not know clutch, you told him that.
Well, you can't see clutch. It's like it's like an oxymoron. Shannon Sharp loves LeBron James. It doesn't work for me. That'd be the one guy Shannon Sharp wouldn't love. Wouldn't defend. I don't know. You've lost it. You got one blind spot, but that's okay. You'll be educated.
Let's go face to face. I embrace debate. I don't make mistakes. I just make my case. Drop the mic when I'm done. One more can I say? Not bite to my tongue. I don't like the taste. I'm on in the morning. I own my phone and I'm always in the zone. Need a zone, out of zone, and then we could get it poppin'. Pick the topic if you want to skip it, shine it, skip the habits. If you score to me, the profit. Alright, undisputed.
Joining us now is a Grammy winner who performed our theme song, No Mercy, which you just heard. Lil Wayne is here. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
It is so good to see you.
Thank you.
Allow me
Great
to
song.
hey, up front. We are so honored you did No Mercy for us. I get it in my head. It sticks in my head all afternoon after the show.
Yes.
No Mercy. It captures the spirit of exactly what this show is about. And I think it's going to be a hit.
Anything I do.
Well, you're a very big part of the show. We see you every morning when we come in here. So tell us a little bit about No Mercy, your creative process, and how did it come about?
It was simple. I just got a text saying, listen, they want you to do the theme song for Skips in the show. I was like, what? I was like, they do understand that any song I do is not going to be a theme song. It's going to be a song. And so it's like, I know the way you're going to approach it, so just do it and see what happens. And this is what happened.
Wow. We were talking off camera. I'd asked, did you freestyle this? And you said, and I asked, did you write it down? And you're like, no, I don't write anything down. So anything you sing, you just go into the studio, get in front of a mic and go.
Yeah, there's 2 different type of musicians. There's the one that was born to be a musician, and there's the artists, the creative people that know how to learn how to create.
Right.
Those are the people that usually write things down. This comes from me. This is who I am. This is what I am. I don't have to write it down. You write it down. You take a picture.
Wow. So this came quickly and easily for you?
Yeah, very. They had to tell me when to stop. That wasn't a joke.
So speaking of stopping, and speaking of No Mercy, about 10 days ago, I had a Lord have mercy moment when I saw your tweets that you are retiring. Would you please tell me this is not true?
This was a tweet off of an argument. This was a tweet after an argument.
And by the way, I saw it was like 3:40 a.m.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. I'm a Libra. We're known to, cliche known to not have real emotions. We the only zodiac sign without a heart or soul on the sign. That's just a symbol. So since it's a scale, we have to let something get all the way down there for it to tip over for us to boil out. So I was at my tipping point.
Okay, because of what?
An argument.
Over
what's going on.
Yeah, that's what everybody wants to know. Because a lot of people think it's manufactured between you and Baby.
Yeah.
Birdman.
Exactly.
This is the real deal.
Yeah, this is business. It's business. Once business is involved, then I have a family, I have kids, I have a mother, you got bills. This is business. So once the business is right, then everything is right. So I did feel that way. And I didn't take the tweet down because I said I still feel that way. And until something is done about it, then maybe I'll
that
change.
you feel mentally defeated, you said in the first tweet, and that you're not looking for sympathy, but
at all.
serenity.
At all. I am too blessed.
So can you see yourself working with him again? If he, as we say it, if we make the money right, can you work with him again?
No, sir.
So you looking for your payday and you're moving on?
Yes, sir.
And that's all this is about? There's nothing beyond that?
Nothing beyond that. Give me mine, and I'll walk off free, smiling.
How did it make you feel that so many of the top rappers rush to your defense and your support? Drake, Kendrick Lamar.
It really was. I mean, I love my artists, like Drake and all my artists. That's expected. Those are my brothers. They're gonna do that. They don't have to. They didn't do it just publicly. Of course, they called me right after they saw that tweet. But the artists that I don't know and that tweeted and came out like that, and Kendrick Lamar's and people like that.
Do you not have a close relationship?
I don't know him like that. Okay, he has my number.
Right.
Yeah, but for people to do, not only him, it was other people. It was Young Thug. It was other people that just, I was like, well, I didn't know.
Let me ask you about
mattered.
Let me ask you about the artwork. I mean, you from top to bottom. What went into this? I know they say it's addictive, but what went into getting all of this?
I'm a Libra. It's a Libra thing, bro. Once we get into something, right, we don't get all the way to it, get all the way. And I like to do whatever I do. I actually do it. So, if it's reading, I don't read, I'm going to do reading. He reads. Now, he does reading. I wasn't just going to get a tattoo. That became a hobby, I'm getting tattoos.
So let me ask you a question. Of all the tattoos you've got, which one hurt the most?
It's going to be
eyelids.
My hand.
Really? Palm of your hand?
Let me tell you why. The palm of your hand is the most sensitive area because that's what we need to feel. And so, also, because it's the palm of your hand, they can't just tat it like regularly. Right. Because it's going to fade away because the ink doesn't stay. So they literally have to go dot by dot until it's in it, dot by dot. So one letter takes about an hour and a half.
Did the eyelids hurt at all?
Not at all. It's too fast. As soon as you're ready to start thinking it hurt, it's over.
You have to know. Not one. No piercings either.
Off camera, I give you a tip though.
It better be to the lottery.
So since that moment of being mentally defeated, have you felt like creating? Because I've been with you on your bus, and you just can't stop. You just keep. It just flows out.
That's another thing, Skip. I could say it. I could tweet it. I could go to church about it. Y'all, everybody already know I have to go. So I have another verse to do the next day. If that was at 3:40, I probably was at the studio at 6 a.m. So that doesn't stop.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a lot more inside there to share with the world going forward? Different levels and layers.
In reality, the height of my talent or the height of my career, whatever, I haven't reached that at all.
I know you work with a lot of people. Who is the one person or persons that you haven't worked with that you'd like to do? Like work with?
Michael Jackson, Prince. Those are the most important.
You're not gonna be able to work with those guys, so you gotta give me somebody that's current, that you can actually go in the studio with.
That's why there isn't. I work with everyone.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. How has your field changed even in the last couple of years? The hip hop industry or the creativity level of hip hop? Where is it going?
The new world. It's just the new world. It changed right with the new world. As sports changed, the world, politics, the way we protest, everything changed. Just changed with the world.
How?
Social media, things like that. I was thinking today. I was thinking how back then there was a commercial with Bo Jackson. He's doing a Tech Mobile thing. He says, "I'm gonna do this to rock," and he puts on a rock song. And I was like, I wonder what if he was like back in the days. He probably said, "I'm gonna do this to rock." They had the artist that sang that song. It's like I remember there was a thing called remixes, and I was the king of that. And I was like, it'd have been real cool if in the back seat I would have had on the referee jersey and I'd be like, what are you doing? Remix, baby. And things like that's dead these days because of social media. There's no such thing as a remix because your song is going to get remixed and the world is going to be able to hear everybody's version of it because of social media. Back then, if you made a remix, you're going to only hear that person's remix when that person releases it. And things like that, things of that nature. A feature is almost evident now. A feature, your everybody's hit song has a feature. I'm still of the era where Lil Wayne's song is only Lil Wayne's song. I'm on the hook, the beginning, the end of it, all of that. So I'm just from a different part of the music, and because I keep it up, that's why the new artists, that's what the new music era, they attract to it because they know that's something from the real music. Not that what they doing isn't real, but just something from back then that still shines, and we love to keep it going high.
Requesting Titanfall in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come together! Nice to see you, big guy. Get the payback.
Warning, enemy Titan detected.
It's game time.
Think they're going to win it all this year?
I think that every year, but yeah, I'm Jordy's back. So,
Jordy Nelson.
yeah.
Quickly retell the story of how you got hooked on the Packers growing up in New Orleans.
The Super Bowl was in New Orleans. My father went to the Super Bowl. Mind you, he's not a football fan at all. Probably don't know what a Packer is. But the Packers won. And
This was the Brett Favre game, right?
yes,
Yep.
he came back with the Packers, paraphernalia, the towels, the cups, the bowls, and when you live in the hood, those things they aren't paraphernalia. Those things you gotta use those. So I ate out those bowls, I drunk out them cups, and I showered with those towels every day.
And you were hooked.
Packers, it was.
Wow.
So you have it up close. You love the Packers, so you're up close to this. Who's the better quarterback, Brett or Aaron?
I have to go Aaron because it's all about being better, and I believe that he sees that Brett was and is what he was and is, and he wants to be that and more, and he's doing so.
You heard that. You're a
I
Brett
did.
Favre guy too.
I'm not a Brett Favre guy, but I'm definitely not an Aaron Rodgers guy. So I need your help here. There's something about him that rubs me the wrong way. And I also think he's being a little overhyped and overrated as the best quarterback in football because since that Super Bowl run, which seems like ages ago, your man Aaron Rodgers is 3-5 in playoff games since the Super Bowl. And he's lost 2 of those games at home to Eli and to Kaepernick. And to me, that stat does not suggest best quarterback in football. So could you please talk me into the greatness of one Aaron Rodgers? I know he makes a great play here or there, as he did at Jacksonville the other day. Guy pulling Jalen Ramsey, yanking on his jersey, and he flings it into the end zone. Okay, I get that. But I don't see enough when it counts to say, oh, that's the guy. He's better than Tom Brady. Because he's not.
Okay, well, first of all, if you're going to say Tom Brady, you have to understand all the things Tom Brady has around him that Aaron doesn't. First of all, like, you got to understand that Belichick is going to make those players around Tom play different. And I don't think, not that what we doing, Packers is different, like, any worse, but
Mike McCarthy's pretty good
really
at what he
good.
does.
Yeah.
And Ted Thompson's really good at picking players.
But he's not Bill Belichick.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, but if we're gonna talk about why Aaron is amazing, it's because if you were to ask the question, I think where they get that best quarterback in the league is when they start to ask what quarterback would you pick out of, and I'd pick Aaron first. I think that's where that comes in there. But as a fan, I'm where you at. He needs to show me something.
Really?
Yeah.
I like that.
He needs to show me something.
Yeah.
And plus, we got Jordy back, so it's time to step up.
I agree, Shannon.
All the things the people saying, and
But I think Eddie Lacy, he got a little heavy last year. I don't know. He might have been down in New Orleans, eating them beignets.
he's always been a big boy.
But he was a big. I thought they had dried his jersey on high heat.
It's so crazy.
I thought, Wayne, that's what I thought. I said either they dried it on high heat or he gained an extra few pounds. And come to find out, I was right. He had gained some weight.
Shannon, what's your reaction to that?
I know Trent very well. Played with him for a year in Baltimore. Won a championship with Skip. With Trent. He's passionate. And he believes what he believes. Trent is absolutely right. There was a time when the backup quarterback was to be seen, not heard. His sole job was to make sure the number one defense got ready for the opponent. That was what he did. He was the scout team quarterback, and any reps that the starter did not take, he took those reps. That was then. This is now. Colin Kaepernick, I think it's amazing. And it's even more for the simple fact he's made money and he's making money. And he's not concerned with how he will be perceived now or down the road. See, people like to say, well, he's not Dr. King or Muhammad Ali or Rosa Parks. But they're looking at these iconic figures in today's terms. Dr. King was not revered when he was doing what he did.
By some, he was.
By the people that Colin Kaepernick is being revered by. Rosa Parks was not revered. Muhammad Ali was ostracized.
He was.
So, Rosa Parks basically said, hold on. You said we're all created equal. I got to this seat first. Why should I have to give it up? I'm tired just like you are. So why should I have to give up my seat so you can sit down and then I have to move to the back of the bus or possibly even stand? Colin Kaepernick is saying, you know what, guys? I've made a lot of money. I'm making $12 million this year. I could sit back and not have a care or a worry in the world. But it is more important for me and to me to give voices and shine light on people that have no voice, that are not heard, and cannot be seen. And people, and we want, not we, some want to silence him. What they thought would be a fad would be a passing moment. Oh, he'll do this, and no. We see more and more teams, be it kneeling, be it with the fist, coming to his defense, since he has a very valid point. How he will be judged today, I believe, will be considerably different than how he will be judged, say, 10, 15, maybe even 30 years down the road.
I agree.
And
I think it's come a long ways in a week.
It really has, Skip. And like I said, these guys will not be silenced. They are more socially conscious. They see things more because, as I said, before social media, you had to wait to get something that happened on the evening news. Maybe it was a day late. Now it's almost instantaneous. If it happens at 6:05 a.m., you're going to see it by 6:10 a.m. if you're on your phone. And that's where we are now. Accept it. So if you think, guys, well, you're a backup, be quiet, you're this, make your money, shut your mouth. Yeah, I understand that you're black, but you're in America, you made tons of money, you don't need to be worried about anything. But he's saying, you're right, I've made my money, but there's some that's never going to make this money. There's some that's having their civil rights violated, and I want to call attention to that issue.
Correct. And more players aren't just protesting with a display. They're protesting with their voice after the game.
Yes.
And they're doing so with an eloquence and an insight that transcends any anger that they might initially have. They're doing it incredibly effectively.
Absolutely.
It's being heard more than they think it's being heard by people everywhere. Certainly a lot of white people are opening their ears and their eyes and maybe even their hearts because of things that get said because the conversation got started by Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
Again, we all love the flag and the people, we honor the people who died for the flag. But now we've transcended all of our patriotism to an issue that needed to get addressed.
Right.
And that is white cops killing too many black unarmed men and getting away with it without penalty, without a check, without a balance.
Right.
And that is getting addressed. And I'm starting to hear some solutions to it.
Right.
So let's get back to Trent Dilfer. That was typical old school quarterback mentality that you just spoke of. That was so typical dispassionate, disconnected, to the point of being clueless, sort of ex-white quarterback mentality. This is how you do it. You should be thankful and you should be honored to be in the NFL quarterback fraternity. So if you are a starter, you can speak out a little more. But if you're a backup, to use your line again, and it's my favorite line, you are to be seen and not heard. You are to prepare for the game and be ready to play in case of, and you are to remain in the shadows so as not to distract or disturb or wreck your team unity. Okay, so when you get to the point, as Trent Dilfer did, of saying basically, and this is the one thing I know, obviously I'm not black. This is one thing I do know after years and years of working with a lot of black players and black commentators on many networks, that if you go to the place of that, if you're telling a black man or a black woman, you should know your place and stay in it. When you get to there, them is fighting words.
Yes.
That smacks of plantation mentality. You cannot go there.
No.
And he went there. Because no matter what you're trying to say in the football context, we're not in the football context anymore. No. We have risen above it to an issue that is far more important than any football game. And I love my football, and you love your football. We take it almost dead seriously.
A lot of what I have today is because of football.
I got it. I watched every game. I watched both those games last night. Okay, I get all that. But every once in a while, you have to stop. And you have to rise above and say, this country is facing an issue that could divide it once and for all.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it needs to get addressed. And thankfully, one backup quarterback had the guts or the vision to stand up or sit down and kneel and say, no, I'm not going to back off. I don't care what it costs me. I'm not going to back off. And here's the final irony to this. Again, the old mentality is don't distract your team. Don't disrupt your unity. What did we see last night after the anthem was over? I saw a whole bunch of teammates go up to Colin and hug him, shake with him, whatever, and a few white teammates, a whole lot of black teammates. But my point is, Colin Kaepernick lost his locker room last year over an off-the-field incident that we don't need to get into.
Right.
It was immature on his part, I thought. I'm seeing a lot of maturity from Colin Kaepernick, and I think his team is too. So again, final irony, I think this team is actually coming together over this. Not distracted, unified. And again, Colin didn't contribute to the victory last night on the football field, but what was the final score? It was 28-0. So something was
clearly
good,
he hasn't
right?
been a total
Right. Did he wreck the team? I don't think so.
And I get it. You can be thankful, you can be humble for the position that you're in and for the opportunities that you've been afforded. But you can also be socially conscious enough to see the inequities that are going on in our society and be positive enough to say, you know what, although I may not have been directly affected, I see what's going on. And in someone in my position, because everyone, you might not love basketball, might not be your favorite sport, football may not be, everyone loves an athlete. So he says, you know what? I play the most popular sport in America. I'm on a team that there are only 32. There are only 1,700 men out of 7 billion people in the world do what I do.
That's correct.
So if it wasn't generating legs, why is it that they pan and they always find the guy that's kneeling? They always find the guy with his fist up in the air. Because it is resonating. And think about it. And the people that is resonating with and that's following suit, it's the black and it's Megan Rapinoe, who is also a minority. She is a lady and she's a part of the LGBT community. So, but when it's really going to get some momentum, it's going to take somebody that's your complexion.
That's correct.
To take up this stance. That's when we're going to be on to something. Because see, we've moved past now. We know it's not about the flag. We know it's not about the military. We know it's not about the veterans. It's about the issues that started Colin Kaepernick down this path to begin with. So that's where we are now. So no more he's kneeling. No more the anthem. No more veterans. No more military. We know the cause of why he's doing what he's doing. So we can move past. Now we need to come to the term of resolution. How do we advance? How do we pick the ball up? Instead of just kicking the can down the road, we need people that can pick the ball up and start running with it. That's where we need to get to now.
And bottom line,
but Skip,
yes,
I don't believe Trent Dilfer saying what he says helps this conversation, because there are a lot of people that's hearing Trent says, okay, he played, he was in a locker room. See what he's saying? So
I'm not sure about that. To me, my takeaway is it took someone of my complexion, Trent Dilfer, to fuel the fire, further fuel the fire.
Yes.
Where this is creating more another wave of conversation today. I don't like what he said.
I don't either.
I don't think a lot of white people love what he said. I really don't. But again, it's furthering the issue. It's creating more legs, new legs for the issue.
And we'll talk about this a little later. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker from the Denver Broncos, has lost 2 endorsement deals for taking a knee. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's making people uncomfortable, and the guys that are taking this stance are having consequences, which are both necessities.
Yep, you got it.
In protest.
My biggest takeaway from Trent is that he is saying something that a lot of people say when this conversation comes up, especially with athletes, and it's stay in your lane, stick to sports.
Right.
I hear it all the time. I'm sure you guys hear it all the time whenever something like this comes up. And what people need to remember is, first and foremost, we're people.
Human beings.
Our profession does not take away who we are. We're people first. These men are men first. They are people. And when he eventually stops playing football, which will happen, he's just going to be a person, no longer an athlete. So this idea that he should stick to sports is nonsense. And it's very dismissive.
I tell people all the time, an athlete is what I was.
Right.
It's not who I am. You cheer for what I did, not for who I was. So Colin Kaepernick is saying, at the end of the day, like you tell me, when I have this uniform on, I'm going to play it. I'm going to give it everything I possibly have. But that's just a small part of the day of who I actually am.
Exactly.
Ziploc presents Craft Chaos.
Glitter here. My fabulous cannot be contained. I'm on your clothes and in your hair and on your forehead and in your car and in the carpet and all up in your bed. So rude. I'm gonna be everywhere.
Jeff Fisher is the wrong man, wrong place, wrong time, wrong job. Jeff Fisher has lasted longer as a head coach in the National Football League doing less than any coach in any sport right now that we have going, and I do not get it. Jeff Fisher hasn't been to the playoffs since 2008. He hasn't won a playoff game since 2003, and yet he's still afloat as the head coach of the new LA Rams. Mm-hmm. So all he gets away with saying so far is, Jared Goff isn't anywhere near ready. We need to wait until next year. So he's buying time, and he's trying to give himself a 1-year pass until the Goff era starts.
Right.
That is so wrong. That is so out of line, and that is so Jeff Fisher. And for the moment, he is getting away with it. But I hope the new LA Ram fans out there start saying, wait a second, what's up, Jeff Fisher?
Skip, I'm not going to even go back that far. I'm just going to take his record with the Rams, 27, 37, and 1. That's what his record is. And he's on record, 7-9. We're going to be better than 7-9. After watching them last night, Skip, I don't see how they get to 4 or 5 wins. Wow. I don't see it. Case Keenum, 17 of 35, 130 yards, 2 INTs. They had 10 total first downs. They had 9 punts.
They weren't playing Seattle, who they're about to play. They're playing San Francisco.
And the fans of LA waited 21 years, and this is what they got. Think about this. The NFL has scripted the National Football League so the offenses can be like PlayStation.
Yeah.
And you can't even score a field goal.
Yeah.
Forget a touchdown.
Yeah.
A field goal. You could not even get in field goal position. And look, I don't advocate for no one losing their job. My question was, how did he get this job? What did he do? Because is he still living off that one Super Bowl ride?
Yes.
Jeff Fisher's a great coach. No, he's not. He's not great. He's average. That's what his record says he is.
Yeah.
Bill Parcells said, you are what your record says you are.
True.
And he's a slightly above average head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his defenses. And they gave up 21 points to San Francisco's offense, led by Blaine Gabbert, who was a top 10 pick, who's already on his second team.
That's correct.
And I'm like, why are we talking about Jeff Fisher like he's Coach Belichick?
You know what he gets away with? About once a year, certainly since he's been in this division, he'll beat one team in the division. He'll go beat Arizona. Arizona's did early last year. And everybody say, here come those Rams.
Yep.
Boy, they're loaded. That defensive line is loaded with, really? Where were they last night? 28-0? Seriously?
To San Francisco. And your best player got thrown out of the game because he was so frustrated that they didn't get pressure on Blaine Gabbert, that they were getting shut out, that he ended up making contact with an official.
Yeah.
And somehow, I'm reading in the paper earlier, they were thinking about giving Jeff Fisher an extension.
They have been. And by the way, just for the record,
what?
The Jeff Fisher that I'm aware of through my media contacts is beloved by the media. He's always been very good with the media, very open and accessible to the media, very great in off-the-record situations, telling you what's really going on with the media. He has a lot of media friends, and I think that serves him very well through these dark times that he's going through.
Well, maybe he should get a job in television, because I don't care if my coach is beloved by the media. I want him to put me in position to win football games. That's what his job is.
Yeah.
And is he doing that? Look at his... What does his resume say? I've never seen one guy live longer off a Super Bowl run in which he did not win. Let's be crystal clear with that. He did not win the Super Bowl. He got his team to the Super Bowl.
Within an inch, you know?
But think about that since that was in 99.
Right.
Yet we're in 2016.
It's Leonardo. Tell the internet about paying fudge stripes. You'll be famous. To begin.
Marvelous.
Was that enough? Oh, I wanted to show you the fudge stripes.
And then at the end of the game, I saw vintage bad RG3. We could quickly see that play. He takes off running, and a cornerback named Jalen Mills is stationed at the sideline. He's stationary, and Robert just says, I think I'll go over here and run over this cornerback who can't, he's just standing there. Why would you take him on? He's not trying to take you on. He's actually trying to get out of your way. Are you kidding me? So here, I'll run into you, and guess what I'll do? I will hurt my shoulder. And he's wincing and dragging his shoulder back to the huddle, and he couldn't. Then the next play is a pass that he airmails over the receiver's head. It's vintage. What are you thinking, Robert? He still can't learn to slide. The simplest baseball play.
But he wouldn't even
get down.
Yeah, he didn't even need to slide.
He didn't need to do anything.
He could have done
just
one
give up.
All he had to do was just go out of bounds a yard earlier.
And you're not getting anywhere by running over the DB who is stationary on the sideline. So this is, he hurt himself. It's all self-inflicted.
Yes.
It was self-inflicted against Baltimore and Haloti Ngata. Remember when he first hurt his knee? Everything is self-inflicted. What are you doing, Robert? I don't know. And then he wants to play hero and try to win the game that they weren't even remotely even in. So I don't get it. And that shoulder, by all accounts last night, looked worse than he was letting on. So I'm fearing that he's not going to be able to play from here on. And if that's true, it could be the end of Robert as we knew and loved him.
Of course, he's going to try to say, well, I hurt my shoulder, but I don't think it's that bad, because the likelihood there's a chance that McCown can come in and then Robert never sees the field again.
Correct. Or Cody Kessler could come in and you never see him.
He was 12 of 26, less than 50%.
Not good enough.
An interception, no touchdowns.
It's sad.
My thing is can he ever get back to what he once was?
I was hoping.
Can he get close? Because right now, I don't even know this guy. I don't know this guy.
He's stuck on the worst team in pro football.
That doesn't help. But even if you're on the worst team, there's sometimes you can see that the guys that are on bad teams, they will flash. And you say, you know what? If that guy got into the right system on a well-coached team, now, Hugh Jackson is a good coach. They don't have a whole lot around him. But you can look at some guys and say, man, if he got with the right team,
Yep.
I didn't see that yesterday, Skip. Now, hey, it's one game. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. But he's hurt already.
He's hurt.
So now, how much practice time is he going to get this week? And then he's a guy that needs practice time because he hasn't been getting a lot of that over the last 2 years. So now if you put him down, say for a week, he's not a guy that you can say, okay, Robert, you're far enough along in your career, like a Tom Brady, where we're just going to shoot the shoulder up. You know the offense well enough, and you can make it work. He's not there. So now where do Cleveland, where do they go from here?
Down.
Well, were they going to ever rise up?
Yeah.
Did anybody think they were going to be in that division? They'll be in the bottom. Well, I got them in 2030 winning that division, being a wild card team in 2030.
Oh, good.
2030.
There you go. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah.
Oh, my mic is hot. People seem to think that they can tell Shannon it's okay because look at you. Look at some of the more prominent African Americans. But no, we make up a small portion. We're disproportionate. We're not the norm in black society. So if you don't experience that, you don't know what exists. So stop trying to fool me into saying, well, Shannon, you crazy. It's because you're taking too many hits to the head. That doesn't happen in America.
That's not true.
I know that it does. And I'm not saying, look, all cops are not bad.
Right.
All blacks are not thugs. All whites are not racist. All I'm saying is that you judge each individual person on his or her merits.
Yep.
So when a cop does something, good cops call him out.
You got it.
Because if you are complicit, you are encouraging it and you are condoning it. See, when Pookie shoots Ray Ray, they find Pookie and he gets 25 to life. Officer Johnson shoots Dave, he gets paid leave and nothing happens. That's what we want. We want equal justice for equal crime. Mm-hmm. We want equal pay for equal work. That's what we want. We want to be treated. The Constitution says all men are created equal. Well, then why do we have to have all these laws and all these amendments and all these acts just to make sure everybody's created equal? They say one nation under God. If we're one nation, why are we treated so unequal? That's what I want to know.
Great question.
There's a reason why they put all these in place. But for some reason, it doesn't apply when it comes to certain groups. We want to know why. That's all. I don't ask for. My grandmother would say, she really never called my brother and I. She would always call us boy. She'd say, son. She'd say, boy, if you give a man your word, you do what you say you're going to do. If a man gives you an honest salary, you give him an honest day's work. And I remember me and my cousin, we're making $5 a day, working 7 to 7. We called it cane to cane. When you went to work, you couldn't see. When you came home, you couldn't see.
I like that.
We're making $5 a day. And I let my cousin, he's 2 years older than me, talk me into going to ask Mr. Joe for a raise. I said, Mr. Joe, we've been working hard. I mean, we work hard, Mr. Joe. We need a raise. He called me Pee Wee because I was real small. He said, Pee Wee, how much do you think you should get? I just threw out $1. So so now instead of making $5 a day, we're making $6 a day. So me and my cousin, we think we feeling really good about ourselves. So instead of working as hard as we normally do, we started playing and lollygagging. My sister tells my grandma, Granny, Shannon and Lanny were playing in the field. My grandma didn't say a word. The next morning, she goes outside. She said, Joe, I heard you gave them boys a raise. Libby told me they were playing. Take it back. Take it back because you didn't earn it. I want what I earned. I want my respect. I want my dignity. Give me that. And if you're not going to give it to me, I will deny it. Yep. That's all I'm asking for.
I got it.
That's all we asking that's all we asking at, be it minorities, be it black or Latino, be it women, be it the LBG community. That's all we ask. We're asking for our respect. Nothing more, nothing less.
I love and respect your passion for this topic. And I asked you a quick question. Did you happen to catch Tony Dungy last night on NBC before the game?
I did not.
Because you and I spoke at one point. I think I barely hung up and he started to speak on this topic. I don't know a more godly man than Tony Dungy is.
He is.
He's a fine human being to the core.
Yes.
And he spoke, and I don't want to paraphrase too much what he said, but he said there were times as he was growing up when he asked his father if he could not stand for the national anthem. And when he said that, when those words came from his mouth, it really opened my white guy eyes like, wow, Tony Dungy went through this. Felt just as passionately as you did. At some point he said, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but he said, as a Christian man, I finally decided I do need to stand up and I do need to fight back other ways. That was his choice. Mm-hmm. That's not your choice, and I respect your choice because your choice is shocking to me, but it's opening a lot of eyes.
Yes, and to skip for you to constantly want to address this issue when we come in at 3:15 and get here at 4 o'clock, and you says, "Okay, Shannon, what do you feel? Do you want to talk about this?" You never shy away from this topic, dealing with race. And a lot of men in your position, a lot of men of your color, don't want to touch this issue because it's too inflammatory. But for you to be willing to sit at this table with me and with Joy, who is a woman who's also in a minority and black, to sit at this table with us and say, okay, let's have open dialogue. Let's talk about it.
Because this conversation is crucial to the future of this country. It's crucial.
Right.
You know it, and I know it.
Absolutely.
We're on tightrope here right now.
We're teetering,
yeah.
And I don't know. And I said last week, I think it's getting better. I'm not necessarily sure that it's better, but I know we have 24-hour news cycle, and we have something called social media and camera phones. So what you used to have to wait for, maybe the next day, or you had to wait for the 6 or the 11 o'clock news.
Got it.
You're not waiting. It happens, and you see it. And sometimes you see it as it's happening. And that is the difference. And so now you don't have, okay, well, this happened over there. Because now, Skip, it's happening. It used to be when things like school shootings would happen. Well, it didn't happen in my neighborhood. That's never going to happen here. Or when police brutality, that's never. Now it's in your neighborhood. Now it's in your school. Correct. And it's getting closer and closer. And eventually, I do believe we're going to have this open and honest dialogue, but it needs to come really, really fast.
Beautifully said.
One thing that's frustrating and quite frankly hurtful for me is something that you bring up all the time, is that there's a big group of people that are in denial that this exists because it's an uncomfortable topic. So it's easier to say, well, it's not really a thing. It's being overblown by social media or by television and people talking about it so much. It's not really as big of a deal as it is, or you're making it up, which you always say, don't tell me that I'm making it up. Right. And because it's an uncomfortable topic, and Colin Kaepernick is protesting and all these players are protesting in a way that people think is unpatriotic or are painting it as unpatriotic, they're putting the forefront on the actual protest and focusing on, oh, well, you're kneeling during the national anthem, or you're doing it on 9/11, and focusing on the protest rather than the actual message, because it makes people uncomfortable.
The most patriotic thing we can do is to protest. That's how America was founded.
Well, if you look at the most impactful protests, just sticking with civil rights only, not even women or LGBT or any of that, just sticking with civil rights only. We have a revisionist history. Those protests were very uncomfortable and got violent. And now when we look at it, we treat these people as heroes because they are, but we don't focus on how uncomfortable those times are.
Colin Kaepernick should protest on his own time. Well, the police unions, when they picket and when they strike, they don't wait till they get off work. They don't show up to work.
No, exactly.
The teachers union, when they strike, they don't wait till after class. They strike before class. In the transit authority, when they shut down, they don't say, let's make sure we get everybody to and from their work, and then we're going to do it. No, you do it at the most inopportune time to create.
Exactly.
the most uncomfortable situation, so we can come to the table and discuss, be it pay, be it better working conditions, be it compensation as far as health care, whatever the case may be. But this is what you do. That's what is patriotic about protest, because you're trying to get the people to understand and to hear you.
Heineken Light lets you control people's minds.
It doesn't do that.
Award-winning Heineken Light is the best light beer you've ever tasted.
That's true.
I made you say that.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Once upon a time, no one wanted to go on Revis Island. I tweeted yesterday, Adrian Green was honeymooning on Revis Island. And now, the one thing that you never want to see happen, if you don't want guys to see you got a chink in that armor. We saw it with Mike Tyson. Once he got beat, before he got beat, no one wanted to fight him, Skip. Once he got knocked out by Buster Douglas, everybody started. Even Peter McNeely said, let me get a piece.
That's true.
With Darrell Revis, he's going to have his hand full for the rest of the year. Because everybody's going to look at that tape. They're going to say, okay, this is how we're going to get it. So unless that wrist heals, I'm not going to say everybody's going to have AJ Green's number. But the days of Revis being able to lock down a guy that says, okay, we ain't got to worry about T.O. We ain't got to worry about Ocho. We ain't got to worry about Fitzgerald or Calvin Johnson. Those days are over. Okay.
By the way, just a quick point of order.
Even with that pass, think about it, Skip. They sacked him 7 times, picked him off once. I think this was Andy Dalton's greatest game. Because
greatest game?
You know why, Skip? Because when you get sacked and get hit that many times, you start to speed up that clock. You start to flinch in the pocket. For him, Skip, the dude only missed 7 throws. Okay. 7 throws for 366.
You realize they won 23-22 only because Nick Folk missed an extra point after he'd set the NFL record of 312 straight, and Nick Folk somehow kicked a low kick from 20 yards out on a field goal and got it blocked. That's the game right there. That's 4 points, and we're not having this conversation if that kicker makes those kicks. Am I right?
We're still having this conversation because that's the real Revis, and he just gave up.
By the way, quick point of order, because I'm the biggest Deion fan you will find. I do not remember him transitioning to safety late. I just don't. Maybe he was hurt late.
Well, he had remember he had the toe injury.
He did.
And once he had the toe injury.
Okay, I got it.
In Baltimore, he played a little safety. He played all safety.
Okay, maybe at Baltimore.
Yes,
I was thinking of his end of his Dallas run.
No.
Last training camp, a year, not this past one, but 1 year back, I was at Jets camp, and I got in with Darrell, who I love, and I know him. I made the case that Deion's just better than Darrell. I'm sorry.
Well, that's a no-brainer. I mean, what are we debating here?
I know, but Darrell took me to task on the air and then off the air. He said, I'm just better than he is because my technique is better. You know, what you talk about, strength at point of the attack, ability to play bump and run, to jam a receiver, all those things. Deion didn't need to do that. He could run like nobody's ever run before. He's a 4.2 40 guy.
Now, if you want to realize how good Deion Sanders is, Google the play when he has no help. They run a post route to Rocket. He intercepts the post. How does a guy in a trail position?
He probably ran it back, right?
He intercepts his hip. He pushes him down. He holds the ball up to say, see what I got. The turn shut down corner.
I got it.
Was because of him. He took the shallow cross. He took the out. He took the skinny post. He took the go. He took the comeback. He took the post route. He didn't have it. It wasn't no, okay, you got help here time. No. Deion took everybody. He took Jerry. He took Sterling Sharp, Chris Carter, Michael Irvin. He took your absolute best.
He did.
Every single game. And he says, I got this.
Yes. Half the field belonged to Deion.
Yes. And hey, I think Revis is a great player, but he ain't time.
Okay. I'm going to sum this up by saying another guy that I like a lot, Brandon Marshall, had a huge drop in the last-ditch drive at midfield. If he catches that ball for Ryan Fitzpatrick, we might be having a different conversation again on that one.
Right.
So I'm just saying, despite all those catches from AJ for all those yards, and Revis Island is honeymooning on Revis Island, despite all that, the Jets should have won the football game. My man Des Bryant, to start the game, You have to get him involved in the game. Didn't you like to get involved in the game by catching a couple little hitch routes just to say, I caught it, I took a shot, or I gave a shot to somebody, right?
Des Bryant is one of those field kind of guys. You got to get him involved early because if you don't, you're going to lose him. Yep, I think everybody knows that.
And it came close to them losing him, and he showed me some maturity yesterday that he didn't go off harder than he went off yesterday.
It's the opening game of the season. You know, you can't.
Not the game.
Yeah, he can't have one of those records on the sideline in game one. And he has a rookie quarterback. If Des Bryant goes off on the sideline, then he discourages his rookie quarterback. You don't want to do that.
My rookie quarterback was special yesterday.
He was.
And he threw balls. The ball that Des should have, I talked about, can we roll that?
Almost.
Have that?
It wasn't a touchdown.
I know, but should he have come down with this?
Yes, he should have.
He should have.
Thank you.
I should have caught a lot of balls, but I didn't.
Okay, but that's the one you got to catch.
But the Odell Beckham is the best receiver. Odell catches that ball. Does Odell Beckham catch that football? Yes
you
or
know
no?
why? He's too soft to come down with that ball. He doesn't make those kind of plays. That's a Des Bryant special. He's small and he's soft.
That's the same play that he did in Green Bay. Remember in Green Bay, he didn't come down with
up and snatch ball. Watch this. Okay, this is Des Bryant. You got to catch the football, 88. It's make it or break it. It's 7 or it's 3.
That was on Collins, not George Jenkins, by the way.
What's that? I said it was. I just told you it was on Collins.
He wouldn't have got off the line if that was a Janoris Jenkins. He wouldn't have been that far down the line.
I can't wait till they play again because Janoris Jenkins is going to get roasted by Des Bryant.
I don't see that happening, Skip. Skip, until your defense, and I keep telling you this, they played well. They gave up 3 touchdowns in the red zone, and with 3:57, 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning, when they needed to get the ball back with their rookie quarterback and that great offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott and Des Bryant, who I think is better than your guy. What happened?
Okay. What happened?
7 runs.
Okay. Did I not tell you that my team would control the time of possession? 37 minutes to 23
You get
minutes.
field goals, Skip.
Okay. I got it because my receivers came up small every time. I told you Cole Beasley should have caught one in the opening drive at the 2-yard line. It's a touchdown.
It's Cole Beasley.
Okay.
It's Cole Beasley.
You know what? He's a gamer. I'm not saying he's Julian Edelman, but he's pretty tough. He comes up with a lot of big catches.
You think about this now. I want you to sit there and think about what you said. You're pinning your hope on Cole Beasley.
Yeah, I am. He's part of a really good receiving corps. He is. And by the way, my defense is so pathetic. Gave up a grand total of 7 points to your Giants in the second half. You love that? Did you love it? 7 points? It was the 7 points, but that's all you got in the second half. The whole second half, you got 7? You're saying my defense is terrible? Really? Where was Eli? Where was he? I want to know.
Dak Prescott threw a touchdown.
No, he did. He did. He threw one to Des Bryant.
They won the time.
Did he not hit him right in the hands? The back.
He did a great job of managing the game. He played with poise. He completed past 6 different receivers in the first half, which shows you he's patient in the pocket. Making good decisions. I'm not going to jump out the window and say Cam Newton.
If Terrence Williams runs out of bounds at the end of the game,
that's what Cowboys do.
Okay, it's not what he does. He's a big play guy. He's a guy who gets behind you and catches the football.
Skip.
Okay, but I want to know if he runs out of bounds, what's going to happen?
What's going to happen?
As a
wide receiver, I want to clarify this. So Terrence Williams catches the ball. You can see Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie trying to block it from getting out of bounds.
I got it.
So the first thing that goes off in his mind is if he can't get out of bounds clean, if the defender touches him before he goes out of bounds, the clock keeps running anyway. Right.
Okay, but what if he doesn't get him on the ground before he runs out of bounds? What if he just
cuts hard? You make it seem like Terrence Williams or Gronkowski, like he's really tough. He's 180 pounds.
I got it. He's got enough of a cushion, he can get to the out of bounds.
But he does have to make an attempt to get out of bounds, and believe me, today in that meeting, that's one of the first things that's going to come up.
Well, I got it.
Football and say, you got to try to get out of bounds.
So you tell me. Well, I want to hear. I need an answer from both of you. If he does get out of bounds, what's about to happen?
You got to throw a Hail Mary.
No, you don't. You're going to kick a 60-yard field goal.
Where?
The buzzer.
They ain't playing in Denver.
My guy made a 56-yarder and a 54-yarder already.
What that
60-yard field goal? What 60-yard?
What do I keep telling you about him?
I don't care about if. That's just what would happen. That wasn't if. That was a fact.
I told
that was happening.
I told Skip a year ago. If the dog had a square foot, he keep prefacing everything with if.
It wasn't if. He caught the ball.
Let me ask you a
question.
Let me ask you a question.
It's time to run out of bounds. Am I right?
We saw Thursday night. We think the Broncos are. We think the Broncos.
Only 1 week. You got that, don't
we think the Broncos are a good D. Why do we think they're a good D? Because when you need them to hold their back and to raise their head,
I never said I had a great defense. I said I had a decent enough defense. If you keep them off the field, you can win the game. And my wide receivers
are they getting paid?
Small.
Are they getting paid? Do the defense get paid?
Sure.
Well, why we got to keep y'all off the field?
And what
Earn
happened?
your money.
What happened on the one ODB escape? What happened to Orlando Scandrick? He's my best defensive player. What happened? He pulls up lane. Okay?
He got a pulled hamstring.
Yeah.
Think about it. Used car gets toasted.
You know what? Wait. What did used car do to Eli? Sat right down and picked it off. Right under Eli's nose. And Eli's going, what am I doing? Used car picked off Eli.
So you know what? Just for that, I'm going to throw a touchdown on you.
Yeah.
Just for you picking it off, I'm going to throw a tub on you.
Yeah, right.
You just said earlier in the show that you have to double team Odell Beckham Jr.
Every
and they put Orlando Scandrick out there on the edge, one-on-one with OBJ. Man to man.
Okay, is that his
fault? Because he got paid.
And not only does he get
but he's your best defensive back.
At some point in time, you got to pull your back.
Player. But he's coming off
I think Sean Lee is the best.
No, Scandrick was 2 years ago.
No, he wasn't. Come on.
Yes, he was.
Yes, but at some point in time, you got look. I'm gonna tell you. I was not much of a blocker, but Alex Gibb would tell me sometimes, hey Sharp, you got to earn your money. You got to hold up one-on-one against this guy. Yeah. Okay, we're not gonna do it every game, but at some point in time, Scandrick, you got to earn your keep.
It's Leonardo.